What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a Call of Duty leak, and this one kind of outside of the game itself. This comes from Tom Henderson. We talk about him quite often. I do believe generally what he says about pretty much anything that he says in the gaming industry, but he said something very, very interesting, not just about this year's Call of Duty, which and I haven't made videos on this, but the rumored name is WW2 Vanguard, okay? And I think a lot of you guys maybe that are watching this video probably already know that, so that's the rumored title's name, okay, for this year. But then there's also next year's, which is going to be Infinity Ward's game, okay? So he had just a very, very small quote. We'll read over it and we'll talk about it. Call of Duty World War II Vanguard, so again, this year's game, is going to be held back so bad by previous generation consoles. And from my understanding, they're planning previous gen for both Vanguard and Infinity Ward's next title. And this may go down a rabbit hole, okay? So let me say this. I've talked about my opinion on games that should be, exclusive for next gen, how you do that, my conflicting thoughts on it, and it's tough, and I've said that before. I've noted that, so you'll have to maybe go back in other videos to kind of get my sense of it, but generally, what I would like to say is, I understand that it's hard to get next-gen consoles, especially these. I mean, these, it's not just about money, right, for PS5, Xbox Series X. It's not just about, do you have $500 to kind of just fork over, right? It's also, can you find these things? Because they're very, very difficult to actually find. So I get that. I would say just on a basic premise, okay, just a basic idea, games releasing on both holds the next version back, okay? Because you make it for the lowest common denominator. You make a game for the lowest common denominator, and then you kind of up it for the other one. So you're not pushing next gen very far at all if you're focused too much on the last gen, which would be PS4, Xbox One, okay? So that's generally where I stand, okay? Don't leave your dislikes yet, although dislikes are engagement, so maybe go ahead and leave them. That's generally where I stand. I can get into more details on that in other videos, or again, maybe you can just ask me in the comments, stuff like that. But what I will say is this. I understand this year. So his leak is kind of two parts. This year's game is both gen, okay? It's coming for current gen, and current gen meaning, I guess, next gen, right? PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and also last gen, okay? I don't really have a problem with that. I've said it before. I think within the first year, I would like exclusives, a good amount, for the next gen consoles to give people a reason, not just to buy them, but also people, say like me, that own them. And there's millions of people every day. There's more and more people that are owning these next gen consoles. They have to have a reason to own it, okay? And if we're being brutally honest, right now, there is next to zero reason at all to own an Xbox Series X and S. Zero reason. Again, yes, like upgrades, your friends have it, stuff like that. PS5, there's next to zero reason, besides like Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls is the only game that you can get on it that you can't get anywhere else, right? Now, PS5 is going to be a little bit more worth it because of Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, which has the Yuffie DLC. You can only get that on PS5. So, there's going to be a couple more reasons over the next couple months that you need to have a PS5, right? So, again, these are just kind of basic points that I'm trying to say so nobody gets mad. But I would say in the first year, it's okay to still have games on last gen because there's 100+ million people that have a PS4 that don't have a PS5, and there's many, many people that have an Xbox One, all those different versions that also don't have a Series X, okay? And you want to make money. You want to make as much money as possible. So I understand why you would do that. Now, I have no problem with that. The issue I have is that they say that next year's version is going to be the exact same thing. That's where it becomes a problem. Year 2, you're still having games on both. You're not this is just, I don't really know how to, this is where it's a little bit more aggressive. My voice may change a little bit, but I don't know how else to drive the point home that is, I think, a terrible idea. You're not pushing anything on next gen if you're doing this. It's why exclusives, PlayStation exclusives, even Xbox exclusives, why they will be the best things for quite a while until we get those games that just leave last gen. I mean, I would say Demon's Souls is the best performance of next gen consoles, both both Xbox and PlayStation, that you can get. Astro's Playroom in a different sense because of the DualSense controller, which is just next level, by the way. But you know what I mean? So like those would be the two. And I don't really think any game can beat that unless it's exclusive for a while. Because exclusive meaning exclusive for PlayStation or exclusive for Xbox, because they only focus on one. That probably gives them slightly an edge, right? But I don't think you can get that with a Call of Duty game that's spread out across all these gens. And also, I'm not a big Call of Duty player, okay? I haven't played one in many, many years. I want to. I really do. I really respect the franchise. I always have. And I want to play them, but I haven't. But what I've heard is, performance-wise, they're not always all that great, especially at launch. And sometimes different versions, different systems have a hard time playing this game. I've heard that from a couple people. I've heard that from even Jay, Degenerate Jay. So, that worries me that this year they're still doing it. Next year, they're still doing it. So we're going to be next year, next October, November, 2 years after the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S come, and the game still releases on last gen. Now, again, the fork in the road, the hardest thing to say is, like, you'll always have those people that say, well, 2 years after, next gen comes out, people still don't all have it, and you have to be nice to the consumer. I get that mindset. At the same time, what I would always counter with is it's technology. Does your phone wait for you? Do computer models wait for you? Do TV models wait for you? No, they absolutely do not. There's a slow transition. There's a slow kind of grind there, but eventually phones leave you behind. TVs leave you behind. Computers leave you behind. Laptop, like all of this stuff, technology, cars leave you behind, okay? You have to eventually upgrade. And now, again, it's up to you to decide, okay, well, is 2 years enough time? Honestly, I think it is, considering consoles have like 6 to 7 year life cycle. We'd be next year 2 out of 6 years. We're 4 years away from getting the next generation of consoles, and we still don't have games exclusive to those consoles. You know what I mean? I hope that all these saying like gens and consoles isn't confusing people, but that's what I would counter with. I mean, a game 2 years in that's still like this. And, granted, I've said, should Gotham Knights still be on both? Should Hogwarts Legacy? These are games that were delayed into 2022. I think they will. I think it makes sense in a way, but do I necessarily like it? No, I don't, because, again, the longer you go, if we're in year 2 out of 6, say, and maybe it could be longer, it could be 7 years maybe we have these consoles, but if we're 2 out of 6 years, when do we get it? 3 years? So we get games only coming out on PS5 and Series X and S, not on PS4 and Xbox One. We get it halfway through the life cycle of those consoles. Does that make any sense to you guys? To me, it doesn't. To me, it absolutely doesn't. I don't like that whatsoever. Why did you buy one then? Why did you buy one? And again, it's not just that. It's also how it holds back the game. And now, this Tom Henderson, it's just one person. It's just his opinion. But his opinion, what he's maybe even heard, is that, yeah, it's probably not going to run very well. Because, again, you're kind of stretching. You shouldn't be making it anyway. Now, again, like this year is a little bit different. But you shouldn't be making it anyway, so that when you do, it's not going to run very well. So I believe him. I do believe him. I think we'll see this pretty clearly this year and maybe even more clearly next year. But definitely let me know, guys, in the comments below. I know this is a very sensitive topic. I've gotten the most dislikes on really all videos that I've ever done talking about these kind of things. So I get it's a hot topic, but I think I try to make it as clear as I can where I stand. I have nothing against where you stand, so if you disagree with me, that is totally, totally cool. Like I said, I understand why people think the opposite. I really do. I just don't agree with it. That's all. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video every single day on this channel, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.